Greetings, my name is Pastor Iblis. This video is part 2 of the origin of Pastor Iblis, and in this one I am going to explain about the group that calls themselves the ONA. They have no voice because the only one that can speak for them is David Myatt, aka Anton Long, aka Abdul Aziz Myatt. He converted to Islam in 1998 and denies any association with the ONA. And as you will see in the website that is before you, David Myatt, aka Anton Long, had said that he was asked in an interview about if some of his members had spoken for the ONA or retaliated and so forth. And what he had said was rather interesting. What he said, and I quote, is this: "But haven't some of your members responded to criticism? No, some of our associates may have." I use the word associates advisedly. Occasionally done such things. Most usually as a learning experience for themselves, but no one is authorized to speak by or on behalf of the ONA except you. Anton Long smiles. Except me, naturally. Thus, those individuals, those associates, present only their own views and their own perspective, their own opinion, deriving, as such things do, from an incomplete and sometimes erroneous understanding which abounds among those who are not masters/lady masters. I have not bothered to correct such errors and mistakes as have very occasionally occurred when such individuals associated with us over the past decade have, via the internet medium, ventured forth an opinion or view of their own. It is for those individuals to learn, so correct themselves, and for others to have the magical empathy, the esoteric understanding to perceive such errors and mistakes for the errors and mistakes they are. And that, as all of this is coming from, is the sinister dialectic of the Order of Nine Angles. Now, what I'm going to get to next is what is termed, he terms them a living Nexian. And you know what that means? Absolutely nothing. I did a search on the term living Nexian. It does not exist. The term Nexion, Nexion, is a travel company. There is no such thing as a Nexian, let alone a living Nexian. This is why the ONA people hate me, because I do actual research. There's also another term that he tosses around like water. Two of them. Causal and acausal. Here is the definition of something that is causal. Number 1, expressing or indicating cause. 2, of relating to or constituting a cause. 3, involving causation or a cause. Number 4, arising from a cause. Basically the idea of a God concept. The idea that something was created. It was brought about intentionally. It had a cause. And acausal, logically, would be lacking a cause. Causal principle. Or number 2, not following the principles of final causation or linear direction. Now, pretty much this can sound like a whole bunch of fucking gibberish. And the reason I will quote this at will, and the ONA cannot say anything, is because of this. Thus, as a living order, we offer a certain guidance and a system of training for those who might be interested, just as our way, our mythos, can be used freely by others in whatever way and for whatever purpose they choose, which is one reason we reject the restriction, the morality of copyright. So there's nothing that they will ever write that they can try to say, you can't say that, that's copyrighted. No, according to David Myatt, the ONA people reject the morality of copyright. The term the left-hand path has become pretty much universal for satanic organizations. The term was coined, from what I can find, first by Madame Blavatsky, but it was made most well known by Anton LaVey with the book The Satanic Bible. Left hand has become universally shunned. The right has been associated with all things good and pure, while the left is associated with the unholy, evil, and regulated to the inferior. In Judaism and Christianity, the right side of the body represents the first stage of creation, daytime consciousness, Adam, man, and active power. The left represents the second stage of creation, earth, matter, Eve, women, and the receptivity. The word left in many languages is associated with evil, trouble, or the devil. In Latin, it comes from sinister, which could tie in with the ONA's interestedness being sinister in their sinister dialectic. It's quite interesting when you consider that David Myatt became a radical terrorist type of Muslim in 1998. He joined a very radical racist type of Islam, which shouldn't be surprising given the fact that he was a neo-Nazi for a number of years and was he was the founder of British National Socialist Movement, NSM, who's been jailed for racist acts, has changed his name to Abdul Aziz bin Myatt. There is information on him in the website that is on the screen now, so you can read all through this to see his former neo-Nazi connections and now his radical terrorist Muslim connections. And this is the so-called founder of the ONA, who denies the ONA. He denies he was ever involved in a satanic organization. So pretty much the ONA has been muzzled by someone that denies ever being associated with them. The only one that can speak on the behalf of the ONA is David Myatt, aka Anton Long, but he denies ever being involved with them, so they're not going to be saying a damn thing. The last thing I want to get to is where it's written in their sinister dialectic bullshit about alchemical symbiosis. There is no such thing. I had to look this up in taking the words separately. Alchemy, which you see now, and symbiosis, neither of which compare with each other. Alchemy deals with turning base metals to gold, whereas symbiosis refers to a biological relationship. These two are incompatible with each other. What he did was he made gibberish. And these ONA followers are too fucking stupid to realize he's feeding them a bunch of bullshit, mixing a causal and acausal back and forth so much that these fuckers get confused and just go along with it. He is a fucking cult leader that has turned a radical Muslim. He is a dangerous frickin' individual that needs to be pretty much taken out of the equation. But this is Pastor Iblis.